if like something comes up randomly. I really do hope nothing comes up randomly because it's been 4 months since my heart attack. Oh, I knew it was a heart attack. Oh, the leaves. The leaves. Oh, and the whole time I can probably count the times I left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. Wait, on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts. So I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. I don't know, I think... Hold on, gotta burp. It kinda sets up, I guess, arrhythmia. I freaking my Asian accent. God dang it. A strange word, a foreign alien one. Yeah. One that you don't want to be in the same room with. I realize like anything's like a female, like cancer. No, wait, no, not cancer. That's a bad idea. I don't know. Like almost all sickness sounds like a girl. I don't know. I don't know if it's the same or not. A rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal, like asthma. But it's not in your heart. It's in your lungs. Apparently, I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go as long without anything happening. Hallelujah! Sorry. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents think we were hit. Oh, my parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. I think that's a bad idea. That's a bad thing right there. I'd already had a full day, but it didn't digest everything. To them, it was a full fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. What? No! Of course, there wasn't. Of course! Everything happens like that. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was admitted, it felt as if I was missed. Oh, I was first admitted. Oh, wait, never mind. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. That's kind of hazardous, I think. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get-well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. Because people don't like visiting hospitals because they make them feel like they're in a ward or something like that. I realized that the only reason I gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class Wow, who does that? Who does that? Well, I know it was like my school did it with one of the students having cancer, but like just a class project. That's kind of weird. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. Well, that's a good thing. As long as your parents come, or like any relatives come, that you're good. Oh, Naka was the last to stop visiting. Obviously. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they're in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. I hate that feeling. I feel like Hisao knows what that feels. I hate like feeling like I'm like getting in the way of something, so I was like, I'm gonna drop it. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist. Every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He said never. Oh, he never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly changed its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of omen. An omen. I still has... Hey, you can use that. I did have a scar somewhere on my knee. I still asked the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore. But when I don't get a reply, the way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope. That's a bad thing. Some of those doctors are really bad, I have to say. At some point I stopped watching TV. I do too. Thank you. I don't know why, I just did. And I guess it's like, you just get tired of seeing the world, I guess. For me, I just stopped watching because my parents were always watching. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism? For my, escape from my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I don't know. For me, if I was in a hospital, I would be like thinking a lot. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hand. Whoa. But I loved the stories. That was what my life was like. Wow, that's really impressive. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the world outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass. I was trapped inside instead of moving within. The week could go by without me really noticing. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. Oh crap. But that happened only rarely, and I couldn't even cry. Today, the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. Wow, he wants to be a really good doctor. He's like, yay, good for you. Oh wait, it's bad news actually. It's like he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. Are you gonna leave? Hisao? My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. Why would they celebrate a party in here? This is kind of depressive. This is this ritual the head cardiologist has. He takes his time sorting his papers and setting them aside as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. That was a waste of like 5 seconds, maybe. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks at me in the eyes in the moment. Okay, doctor voice. No, I don't want to make it sound really old and pedophile-ish. No, I can't. Okay, I got nothing. Hello, Sal. How are you today? I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him. Better smile, he doesn't care about you. I believe that you can go home. Your heart is strong now, and with some precautions, you should be fine. Yes. We have all your medications sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription. The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden. Wooden. Was blank. As he reads it quickly. So many. So many. Wait, what if I press escape? Oh, I can save here. Oh, sweet. Alright, just in case. Whoa, who's that? Oh, that person has no arms. Whoa. Look at those eyes. They're like staring into your soul. Okay.